Again,
and
it's like
technically
what?
that's
Yeah,
the bottle.
do we have to let? This is the reason. You two are the reason that we have to legislate rule. You're teachers. You should understand this.
This is what I do with my
Both
students.
of you.
If you
Shame
because-
on you.
Because we're teachers, we're around a bunch of people that try to bend the rules 70,000 ways every single day.
Is that okay in your classroom, Brian?
Yes,
If you're
if
like,
you can bend the rule past me,
yeah.
I give you points.
You know what? If you do a good enough job bending the rule in a critical
I know
thinking
business, and I have
type of
lawyers that work for me. So if you want to get legality, like, let's go.
You know what I do care about is to see if this old foe can beat the Chuck wild card.
Yep.
Because
I'm pretty
if this
excited.
old foe can just go all the way, even though it's not mine, I would feel so validated.
Well, I mean, the question is, did I spend big bucks on the old foe, or did I cheap out on the old foe to, I don't know, spend big bucks on the Dickel? Who knows? We will find out. I mean, that old foe is nice.
Oh, that's a nice nose.
But
that's no 1910 nose.
You can never trust Chuck.
That's
with
no
his wild
1910
card.
nose, but it could be a 1920 nose.
I ain't got no 1920. That's expensive.
This isn't 1920. That's sweet
nose
caramel.
could be.
There's not a lot of that's not a classic old foe nose.
I mean, I could have been a jerk. I could have sent the High Angel share. I have a couple bottles of those.
No, I don't believe that.
I played fair. I played fair.
The palette reveals the old foe.
Yeah.
I can believe this is like the bottle and bond. What was that, 1897 or?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was it the Prohibition?
I'm not telling. Quit trying to ask.
My nose
Go
is
away.
nice.
I would say, Chuck, your wild card's pretty good. Not as good as my wild card, but of the wild cards, you get second place.
Was the old foe previously on your shelf, or did you buy a new one?
I've got every old foe product, so sure, it was on my shelf. I've got all the Whiskey Rose. I've got the Old Foe 100. I've got the Old Foe Rye. I've got a birthday bourbon, which technically could fit in because I paid $100 for it. So just saying. I'm also going to let you know, no, I did not send you my birthday bourbon.
Yeah, because you would have been divorced. Right? Your wife
Yeah.
says that's a no-go.
I was like, oh, birthday bourbon. He says, I'd be really happy, except I hope this isn't birthday bourbon. I hope it's better.
I also have an Old Foe 150th, but that would have blown my bracket because of cost. So that didn't work either. And that's also my wife's bottle, so I'm not allowed to send that unless I want a divorce.
Like, I would almost go towards the bottle and bond because it's a little bit different than the other old foes, but I don't know. We'll see. You might have snuck in a Prohibition on us.
Maybe.
And I might be totally wrong, which is usually the case if I historically look at my life.
I mean, overall, Chuck, good job on your wild card. It's nice. It's sweet. I feel like it might be a double-barreled product.
It would have to be like an old foe fanatic to be like, this is old foe win all the way.
It's solid contender. I'm impressed. For under $30, this is definitely a drinker. I would have no problem buying this. I'm gonna go Old Foe. I think it's better, more complex, start to finish, just better. I think you brought it. I was proud of you. It just can't compete with the Old Foe, but that's me.
So I'm going to disagree with you, not because it's my pick, but because it's better whiskey, and I'm going to go with my pick. So the Old Foe, to me, is lacking on the nose.
and my pick comes through with some honey and sweetness, and it's more robust even on the nose, and then it's just a more balanced palate, and then for sure it's more robust flavors as far as the sweetness, more caramel, just what you expect from a bourbon in the palate, and then it transitions into a nice finished pepper finish that I find delightful. So
yeah,
I think it's more well balanced. I find the Olfo lacking. I think the Olfo is a great product, whatever you chose to send us. But for me in this blind, I'm choosing mine.
I like it. All right, Brian, down to you, sir.
I mean, I'm trying to think of how to say this nicely. If I was like a middle school girl looking at getting into bourbon, I would choose Chuck's Wild Card. But the Old is superior. Okay, I'll give you this. Chuck's Wild Card on the nose, I would give a slight edge to. But the sweetness, the lack of just like oomph to complexity, like I would give this Wild Card. I don't know what this is. This to me says introductory bourbon all the way. The Old Foe, I mean, the nose, I would like a little bit more. It's not like I don't pull out any of the banana on this nose. Some of the other Old Foe stuff, but it's there. But the palate is solid. The finish is wonderful. Like I'm drinking a bourbon. It's going to put hair on my chest. I'm happy about it. Thank you, Old Foe. Yeah, Old Foe. In the story.
All right. So Old Foe goes on. So Chuck, what is your wild card?
It was Four Roses Small Batch.
Really?
Yeah.
Did
some blinds.
You didn't upgrade to 4-batch select, huh?
For under $30, you cannot upgrade to small batch select. So
valid.
At under $30, you're really limited. And I did some blinds, and Four Rose Small Batch was the king. So felt good about it.
Yeah, I was to say there's no way I would have guessed that was Four Roses. There's no of the herbal notes or anything like that you normally get. Like,
yeah,
yep,
that was solid.
And again, I will say Chuck's pick on the wild card, to be fair, is very drinkable.
Yep. So our final entry in the first round is going to be Buffalo Trace versus Jack Daniels. Brian versus Chuck.
This is a matchup of the Titans.
I mean,
right here.
The important thing to know is, as of right now, Brian only has one pick going on, and he really needs a win here.
It only takes one, though. It only takes one.
I'm pretty sure your Heaven Hill's going to lose to that new riff, but we'll give it a solid chance.
I mean, the nose on this Buffalo Trace is quite nice, Brian.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you. I felt like it was as well.
Oak,
sweet cherry.
Bit, yep, a little bit of sweet cherry in there.
That is good. Thank you, Buffalo Trace, for whatever this is. That's what I would say.
It's got definitely cherry notes all the way through. Light oak finish, a little bit of bacon spices in there. I mean, again, like I
feel like the finish just dances on your tongue in a nice, subtle but strong way.
We all love to hate on Buffalo Trace, but they do good products. It's a good product. No, I mean,
it's no Benchmark 8.
It's no Benchmark 8, thank goodness.
Benchmark 8, people. But
it's much better than that.
So is. The price is a little bit more as well.
Finishes, I'm surprised you're enjoying it so much, Brian, because it lacks that rye finish. or lasting finish. So most of what I get is oak that lingers, and it lacks any type of pepper spice.
I will say, I mean, honestly,
it's not bad by any means, but
Chuck, I feel
it's
like
delightful.
you're like profiling me right now. Like I feel violated. But honestly, you're spot on. Like this is something I enjoy, but the finish is a little bit has less boldness or oomph than something I typically enjoy. But the rest of it I'm incredibly happy with. And the finish is there, but just doesn't have that oomph, that linger that I typically like in a bourbon.
This might be, earlier you were saying the previous matchup, you were saying this is the closest matchup of the round. For me, this might be the closest matchup of the round. That's how close I am between these two. So Buffalo Trace, they're different, but between the Buffalo Trace and this Jack Daniels, they're really close.
I feel like the sweetness on the Jack Daniel nose comes through really nice on this. Strangely, like I feel like I get the fruit and the cherry on the Buffalo Trace, but I get sweet, like honey vanilla maybe on the Jack Daniels. I don't know if that's what you guys are getting, but
yeah, it's like cherry Coke.
They're close.
They're very close.
Closer than I think this is one of my closest matches of the first round, if not the most, as opposed to Brian thinking of the previous
MGP and Dickel.
Correct. Or Old Foe and something else. But I say that, but I am 100% confident in what I say, that this Jack Daniels is superior to the Buffalo Trace. So I appreciate the nose of the Buffalo Trace, but to me, the Buffalo Trace or the Jack Daniels from start to finish was superior.
If you watch the channel often, you know that none of us enjoy disagreeing with Chuck more than I do. So I would say I would agree that Jack Daniel's finish, I feel like, is superior. The nose and the palate on the Buffalo Trace is superior. So just based on the numbers, 2 out of 3 goes to the Buffalo Trace, 1 out of 3 goes to the Jack Daniels. This is a highly contested matchup, and I think either one of these bourbons you would love to have on your shelf. But I'm going Buffalo Trace.
All right, so I honestly don't know what these guys are talking about, that it is close at all. It's not close. It's like calling Pluto a planet. It's not a planet anymore. Like, nobody cares. Old news. Without a doubt, it is the Jack Daniels as the leader. Like, the Buffalo Trace is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
Agreed.
I just drink the Buffalo Trace. Like, I'm not gonna be sad at all. It's great. Like, woohoo! It's wonderful. Then you drink the Jack Daniels. It's got complexity. It's got depth. It's got a nice finish. Everything there. And so I got to go to the Jack Daniels without a doubt. I'm sorry. So, Brian, what is the Buffalo Trace product?
I believe this could be 107. Like, there's enough oakiness there. Like, there's some depth in this Buffalo Trace, but proof probably hurt it. What do you got, Brian?
I don't know if proof hurt it. Just complexity. There's like 1 or 2 flavors, and that's it. I could agree it's the 107 because it's sweet like a weeder. Yep.
But that is
So,
the like I
here's the
love the
thing.
107. Like,
According to you
that's-
guys, why in the heck are we chasing 107 when whatever Jack Daniels product you just posted is readily available? Because all of Jack Daniels is decently available.
I'm not
decently
sold that's
available.
true. I'm pretty sure he said a Jack Daniels barrel strength store pick.
Store pick, you think, or just barrel
Yeah. He's got a couple store picks.
You
in
know,
his
I
Barrel
I'm
strength
will-
or store pick,
I will
which
be
is what
honestly a little bit upset. I'm a little bit upset right now because I actually splurged on sending the Buffalo Trace.
How did
and
you
the Widow
splurge? You
Jane.
did not buy that bottle. You
The
traded
Widow
Chuck
Jane.
for the bottle.
I did